Texas is recognized.
Thank the Speaker. I thank the Chairman for bringing it up and his work on it in a bipartisan way, and especially want to thank Congressman YODER for pushing this legislation that has overwhelming support in the House of Representatives. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act was passed in 1986, 30 years ago. It was an eternity. I understand that IBM invented and put on the market their first laptop in 1986. A lot has changed since that day 30 years ago. And the cloud, as the Chairman mentioned, the cloud was where rain came from, or sometimes we see it here in Washington, D.C., the cloud. No one even knew what that was. But the Electronic Communications Privacy Act needs to be fixed because it does not protect the right of privacy of Americans. If something is stored in the cloud that's over 180 days old, then it's open season for government to seize all that information. All governments, local or state or federal government, can go in and get those emails, texts, photographs, documents that you're storing. But up to 180 days, it's protected by the Constitution. Interesting. 180 days of constitutional rights, but 181 days, you have no right of privacy. That's absurd. This bill fixes that former legislation. I used to be a judge in Texas for 22 years, and I had peace officers all the time coming to see me want a warrant. They follow the Fourth Amendment, describe the place to be searched. They go in with that warrant after stating probable cause, and they were allowed to seize whatever they could seize under the warrant. The Fourth Amendment ought to apply today. It ought to apply in electronic age. It ought to apply to emails that are stored in the cloud or anything else that is stored in the cloud. If the police officers had to have a warrant to go into your house and take documents you store in your desk, wherever, then they have to have a warrant if you store documents in the cloud. That's what this legislation does. And it makes sense that we protect the constitutional right. You know, the government cannot tap our phones without a warrant. It can't read hard mail without a warrant. And it can't enter our homes without a warrant because of the Fourth Amendment. We are unique among all peoples because we have in our Constitution the Fourth Amendment that protects, I think, Americans better than any other population anywhere of their constitutional or of their rights. People speak of rights. Government doesn't have rights. People have rights. And the Bill of Rights protects citizens of the United States. Government has authority. It has power. And if you read the Bill of Rights, the 10 Amendments especially, it's to limit government power and authority against us, the citizens. So, of course, the Fourth Amendment should apply to the federal government in this area. And unfortunately, we've seen in our own government abuses of the government in the area, especially of snooping and spying on Americans. The NSA and their story we're all familiar with. We have to control government. And it's our obligation, the House of Representatives, to protect the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, especially from government intrusion. So I support this legislation. It's a good piece of legislation. And I want to thank the Chairman and the ranking member and also Ms. Lofgren for her support of this legislation that we've been working on for a long time. Let Congress speak out and support the right of privacy for all Americans and keep the government out of the snooping business. And that's just